I'm missing a probe. Where be my probe? I'll take this probe.
Hey, I think we're live.
All right, do me a favor while we live. Get me that sieve over there, please.
Sieve, got it.
Yeah, I got to sieve some flour.
Right?
Got to clean my probe.
So anyone on TikTok watching, yes, we do have a TikTok for those who did not know. Do not judge me.
Yes,
we
please.
are getting the name out there, right? We're just sharing what we do, getting biltong to everyone. TikTok, you will not be able to hear everything perfectly. If you go over to Rumble, which was on my previous post, you will find our live stream. This is just a preview. So you'll see some tidbits, you'll get a little bit of a tease, but it will not be perfect. I do apologize. Rumble, why are you being slow?
Give me a
second. I know we are, but
okay,
it's
so
just,
can I say good afternoon, goeiemiddag?
I think so. I can't find us.
Is it
Can
there?
we say
Is
it?
it square?
Can we say it? Yes.
All right, good afternoon, goeiemiddag. Welcome in, everybody. We have had quite a busy day. Apparently, this is par for the course now. So we've had deliveries yesterday, deliveries today, so we're trying to get everything in. But let's start with this. Good afternoon, goeiemiddag. We are live from our shop, so all kinds of things can happen. We run a retail store, sell a lot of biltong. That's what we do. But we also do other things. That's number one. Yep. Very healthy, good for you. But we also do other stuff. So we also sell groceries and things like that. Our retail store is to my right. We are in what is our old commercial kitchen. And Nicole's going to have to help me today. So hopefully, we for an hour are not too much interrupted. I need to nuke. Well, I guess, I'm going to switch this guy on or use a microwave. So
it's up to you because I got to go get stock.
All right, so let me start.
So we also got stock.
Yeah, we also got stock.
Which we were not expecting.
Yes, it was supposed to come Monday. They never early, except today. So
they use one of the best transport companies. There's correct. A few I love. They pick it up and deliver.
Yes, like they should. But anyway, so we are going to make some rusks today. It's a type of a rusk, and I'll explain it a little better. And we're going to make a 4-ingredient bread. But anyway, I'll get to that. But
those look really good, yes, by the way. Nice buns you have there.
Yes, but that's exactly my point. Is we are not a kid-friendly show.
So I'm going to turn off TikTok here in a second because we are not kid-friendly, and I don't know who's watching. So I don't want to tell.
The Chi-Coms.
I
just want to mention that we will probably use some terms that might not sit well with some people because we adults and we're married and we like to have fun. So just keep that in mind that maybe there will be an inappropriate comment here or there slipping in. I've got my oven on preheating at 350. So what we're going to make today is called a Aniseed rusk, and we call them undried rusks because you can eat them like you would scones or bread, and you kind of tear them off, and they're very nice. That's a Aniseed rusk. Now, I want to give you guys some history on this. The way these things were made originally, it's made with what they call a grape must. Now, we use grape juice, we use sugar, we use yeast. The traditional South African way of these rusks are made with a grape must, which they use when they pour off the first, the first kind of mix of grape, of wine, so the juice that gets poured off and all that bacteria and stuff that come off that juice, they use that must to actually make these things. So you don't traditionally use yeast, you don't traditionally use any of that, but when I come from the northern side of South Africa, a lot of that is not available there. So you can't make these things the traditional way. So we adapt it and we make it with grape juice, flour, aniseed, sugar, yeast, and stuff like that. So I'm going to show you these are proofing up. I'm going to give them a bit of time. So I'm going to make a mix here for you. But this is what they look like. And they should proof probably till about level with a pan. All right. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bake these off in the oven like 20 minutes. All right. But I think before we do that, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to make So I saw this recipe. They say it's a 3-ingredient bread, which is flour, self-raising flour. So mine won't be 3-ingredient. It's going to be a 4-ingredient bread because I want the baking powder. That if you can get that for me, please, while you traps, like motioning past there, just organize me the baking powder. Thank you very much.
It's a tiny baking powder tub.
Yes, I know, because we used to bake this stuff commercially, so I've got all commercial sizes of everything. But so it's flour, baking powder, which I will add, kefir, and salt.
Yes.
So I thought, wow, that's easy. Maybe I'll try that.
Sounds tempting.
Yeah, see what it comes out like. So I'm going to use this, and let me just see, because I didn't actually read the bread recipe because it's real straightforward. So what they say, it's very easy. It's 500 grams of flour, which is like just over a pound. A pound is 454. So I would say this is probably close to 4 cups, like just under 4 cups of flour. So I'm going to put the 500 grams of flour. So let's do like 300, sift that. So I use unbleached flour. It's a little different. I'll see how this bread comes out. All right, and in winter especially, the what's the name? The flour likes to make static, and if you kind of short out the static, it likes to change the weight on your scale. So be aware of that. I don't know how to fix that. I just normally weigh out all my stuff, and then I just sift it regardless of what the scale says. But when you sift it, it likes to make static in winter, and you get the old bzz.
I was speaking to the people who cannot hear us, but no one else should have heard me.
All right.
Can I say hi to a few people?
Yeah,
real quick?
please do. Please
All right,
do.
we've got Jody, of course, reminding everybody to hit that plusy sign, please and thank you. Dear Sarge, Mrs. Sarge, Anho Dave, Bright Gaming, Cam, who's in for just a second and running away. And would you believe it? Bright Gaming goes live in 55 minutes.
Okay, that's interesting. It's almost like we could rate him.
It's almost like it's meant to be. I like it. I like it a lot.
All right, so, and then it calls for salt to taste. Now, 500,000. So we're going to look at maybe, I'm going to use I don't like using my Celtic salt unground in the bread. So I'm going to grind in 2 teaspoons. It's 10 grams, 5 teaspoons per loaf. And we'll do 2 half-kilo loaves. So I guess you could do this in pound. It looks like ratios. So let me add.
That's my phone.
Yeah, that's
Why
your
am
phone.
I ringing? And we're on live.
Oh, I'm sorry. Switch that thing off, please. My wife interfering with a live stream here. All right. Sorry, Nicole has to take a call quick, apparently. All right, so let's see. So I'm going to do 10 grams of salt. Takes a second to grind that out. All right. And I have no idea what this bread's going to come out like, but I thought it's pretty cool. And if it works well, I could probably add cheese to this, which should be a really nice cheese bread. All right, so without further ado, we're going to do the same weight in kefir. So I guess you can do this like a pound of flour and a pound of kefir would also probably work. And then you just make a pound of bread per pan. So I've got 2 loaf pans there. Can you do me a favor? Oh, don't worry. Yeah, I do. I thought I was short, but I got 5 here. So I'll spray these guys. And I think
if I run and go get that stock real quick.
No, you can go.
All right,
you can go.
Leaving your phone. Sorry for the ring, everybody.
No
but
problem.
I'll be back in a few minutes.
So I'm just gonna spray this over my tray or over my little mixer bowl because I don't want this. This stuff is very slick. I don't want it all over my floor and all over my other stuff. So that's the ding dong. Nicole's going outside quick to go get the stock. She would bake if she could bake, but apparently I bake because I can bake. So we've got 500 grams of flour, 500 grams of kefir. I guess you could also use buttermilk. 328. So I have no idea how this is going to come out. No idea. So we'll see. All right, so I've got 500 grams of kefir, 500 grams of flour. Let's see what that does. I'm going to stick this in the machine. All right. Shouldn't have drinks with you. All right, so let's mix this up and see what happens. All right, let that run. And just to give you an idea, while that's mixing, this is where we're at with this guy now. So it's looking real good. Looking real good. I'm going to grab him and put him on the oven. Put him on a pan, because I'd really like to put this and that in at the same time. Now keep in mind the bread will not proof because it's got baking powder in it. I've got these little spatula things, so I like to use them. So this takes no sugar or anything, that's why it piqued my interest. Is it's literally kefir, flour, and salt. So that's pretty good stuff, you know. So let's see. I might have to put more kefir. I just want to see what the consistency is. All right, so let's see. I might have to adapt the recipe just a little bit. Maybe add 50 mils of kefir. Let's see. Oh, that's good. That's good. And be careful. Don't do what I do, because the hook likes to grab utensils. You've got to be real careful. That's not too bad. Might add a little bit of flour. Let's see, because it seems a little sticky. Now they talk about self-raising flour. That said, thank you for brain for remembering. I never put the baking powder, or the baking powder. So 4 cups will be a teaspoon per cup, so 5 grams per cup. So we want to look at 5 grams per cup, so that'll be 20 grams. And I always go a little more, because the baking powder in the US is a little less strong than ours. So I'll add 30 grams, so like 7.5 per cup. So we got I just want to double check my math. I'm not in the mood for mistakes today. 88. I'm sorry, I got some serious hay fever going. I don't know what's going on. They must be spraying the crap out of the air again. It's normally when that happens. And this should actually sort this out nicely, because I was thinking I need to add a little bit of flour. Give me 1 second. Let me just do this. I'm sniffling, trying my best not to get anything on my hands. Sanitizer. All right, there we go. And I'm sifting this because, and I'll show you. So you don't want this to end up, you don't want that to end up in your bread. You want that to be broken up and fine. And that way you don't have little clots of nonsense in your bread. All right. There we go. All right. Whew. All right, there we go. Put this guy back in. All right. There we go. Yeah, that looks good. That's looking the business. So 4 ingredient bread. Say a pound. I used a half kilo, but a pound of flour. a pound of kefir, which you could get at your Walmart. I don't really know where else to get it. I'm not a big fan of Walmart, especially not, you know, seeing that apparently they are paying some of the peaceful protesters, apparently. But anyway, we're not going down that rabbit hole. And so you could get the kefir, you know, at a local grocery store, I guess is the best way to put that. And then salt to taste. So I'm putting a teaspoon per loaf. We'll see how that comes out. All right, and then you just mix it. You know, a teaspoon of baking powder per loaf if you're not using self-raising. This is said to be self-raising. It's looking good. Looking good. Let me show you guys. It's a pretty stiff mixture. So if you look at that, pretty stiff, little sticky. So maybe I add a little bit of flour. Will you mind bringing me the flour shaker?
Sure. Sorry about that delay. I had a customer that also special ordered or wanted something. And
okay.
made sure to message that customer.
All right. So let me see. I actually suspect this with a baking powder and the exact correct amount of, so it'll be exactly 4 cups. So this is just the shaker I've got with some flour in it. I'm going to put 20 grams. So this will be exactly 4 cups, which is of my flour, 520 grams of flour. So that'll probably be right because I want this a little stiffer than it is. The flour just a little less kind of.
He said stiff.
Sticky.
It wasn't mean. He said it. Not sticky, but stiff. Spaz Out's in. Welcome in.
Hey, Spaz. Welcome, man. All right. Here we go. So we'll see. I think this will be the last round. No matter what it does now, we'll stick it in a pan. Oh, those guys are almost there.
Okay. Hey, and Ike has come in. I mean, Switzerland, play IT. I don't know who that is.
Hello, Ike. I think I'm going to have to flour up some gloves. This stuff looks very runny. All right, there we go. So let's see. Oh, and my son is yelling.
Someone's upset.
Yeah, very upset. Yep. Anouk.
Woohoo!
There we go. All right. Let me flour up some gloves.
And Lemon has arrived.
Hey,
Welcome in, Lemon. All right, I'm out for a minute. I'll be back soon.
Yeah, I'm going to put some gloves on because I'm not a big fan of the dough all over the hands. I guess I could just, you know, I could just flour up my my hands, but then I got to go wash them. Now I can just pull the gloves off and throw them away. So this looks very runny, but let's see what it does, and then we can always improve the recipe from there. I always believe that recipes, you should run them 3 times. You do them first time according to the book, and you see what it says, and then your second iteration is a modification, and normally by the 3rd iteration, you normally have the recipe the way you want it. In my experience, you know, other people could have different experiences. So let me wipe this down. All right, because I'm going to reuse this shortly for the rusks. So let's see. All right. So this should be 520 plus 500 plus 10 plus 520 plus 30 plus 10 plus 500. So we should have 1,060 grams. So I'm gonna cheat because this guy looks like it's a little runny. So I'm going to cheat, and I'm just gonna half pour it in here because I don't think it really matters as long as I get it in there. So I'll do like 520. And we'll see how this comes out. Because I don't think this guy can be rolled.
It is sticky.
Very sticky.
Very sticky.
But I want to see what it comes out like on the original recipe.
I've got someone you may know, G. Jessup.
Hey! Oh, Greg?
Welcome in.
Yeah, welcome in.
So
right.
Sarge is dangling biltong in front of his sons. They got 2 boxes sent out this week.
Hey, goody goody.
Speaking of, did anything go your way?
Sarge's way.
Sarge's way.
I'm sure there was something.
I think there was something.
Let me get that. So this is quite runny, so we'll see. But I think it'll still come out good. All right, so let me see what we got left here.
I missed old school Tucker. Thank you for Trucker. Sorry, thanks for joining.
Yeah.
And Lemon was asking, "What's a rusk?" She thinks it's something to do with bread.
Well, yes. So you want to explain rusks?
Rusks are very similar to biscotti. That is the absolute closest thing I can think of that most people are familiar with. So think of a bread baked and then dried afterwards. So it's a very hard but can be crumbly when dipped in tea or coffee. Sweet undertone, but not necessarily sweet.
Yes. So rusks are also ours, South African rusks, if compared to biscotti, are more. So you also get English rusks, and they're more like a cookie. South African rusks are more like a dry cookie. The English rusks to me look more like Maria cookies.
Yes,
almost.
They look like actual cookies.
Yes.
South African rusks do not look like cookies.
No, go fetch a box of Oma. Yes. So the most popular rusks in South Africa is what Nicole's going to fetch now and show you what it looks like. Let me see if I can shake this guy a little. There's no yeast in here, so there's no danger. So let's see. I've never made bread like this, so I'm going to pop this in.
These are the Oma rusks.
Yeah, there we go.
All
right.
See, curved. Some have edges. Some
All right,
not.
step aside there for me for a
Sorry.
second. So this is what they look like now. So I'm going to pop these in the oven, and then we'll make a set of these. Oh, that boy can get upset, man.
He's weaning from a pacifier, so we
Yeah.
are in a fun stage at the moment.
Yeah, he's like a drug addict right now.
He's doing really good.
Yes,
He's
except when
actually-
he's not.
But he is. Come on, he's doing good.
I'm going to pull
They don't proof, they just go straight in.
yeah, no proof. No, it's baking powder. There's no proof.
So weird. It
Yeah, I know,
feels wrong.
So let's
All right,
see.
so I've got the rusk. I'm going to leave them right here.
So let's see.
That felt
What does
wrong, watching you go from mixer to...
That says 1 hour for that bread. You've got to bake it for an hour. I don't believe that. I've got it 15. I can make it 20 minutes. 20 minutes would probably be... That's interesting.
I'll be back.
I'll be back. All right. So let's change to the rusks. Or to the rusks. So let's see. How long does that say? 35 to 40 minutes. That'll be perfect. Right. So, to make the rusks, now I have to wipe everything out here first. Now, I am used to taking yeast, proofing it in water, or not proofing, blooming it. So you take your yeast, you put it in water, you can add a bit of sugar if you want, and then you watch it kind of grow and bloom. So you make sure it's alive, because I use the active dry yeast. But it does die because it's like a bacteria, I guess. I guess that's the best way to describe it. So you want this stuff. Basically what the yeast does, it eats the sugar and then it toots. And the toots are what kind of blows up the bread in my kind of imagination, if I think of my mind's eye of what the stuff is doing. So it's these organisms that eat the sugar and then they make wind and gas. And the wind and gas is what makes your bread proof. So, so yes, that is what happens in there. It's all a big party, you know. And there I was thinking it's only a party when the sausage comes out, you know. So, what's the name? So I'm just gonna wipe this clean because I'm not gonna run all of this through the wash. All right. So, what these guys say. And I'm going to start with that. I might actually switch this guy off. I just want to get enough going to actually heat this thing up. Now what you can't do is you can't put the milk that we're going to use in the grape juice. It'll curdle. So you want to be aware of that. Now they ask for water. What I'm going to do is I'm going to not use water. All right. Let me start with this guy. No, I'll start with this guy. Let me see. Yeah, we got some butter. Let me put that guy down there. Let me take a sip here. All right. So we want grape juice. So I'm going to do 100 grams, like 3.5 ounces of grape juice.
So I'm not here to play on your words, but do not fear. The entire chat is. They are having a blast with fishy bread is bad.
All right.
And the fungus among us.
Well, I said the yeast is small guys eating the flour, and then they toot in the bread, and then the bread blows up.
So I does say it's more fungus-like.
Yes, I said bacteria, but fungus, yes.
Fungi.
Fun guy.
Fun guy. I do have another customer. I'll go out here in a second.
No problem.
But Sarge's package says tomorrow. It's delayed. Yes.
Oh man, that just annoys me. We tried to surprise you.
Well, you know it's coming, so just put it in the fridge whenever it arrives, regardless of when it arrives, and it should be fine.
Yeah. So we're gonna do 50 grams of butter, which is like,
I'll be back.
say three and a half tablespoons. A little more, a little bit of love. All right. And I'm going to just pop this on the range here. I just want the butter to melt, basically. All right. So take this guy. Again, we're going to do 1/2 kilo of flour. So actually 4 cups, 520 grams. So it's a little more than 1/2 kilo. Let me zero that. All right. 187. So 207. 707. Sorry, I'm just doing math in my head. So 520 grams of flour. So I just want to sieve this. Sieve. All right. So I just want to get this, it's a little over. I've got a spoon here. Sorry, I'm a little particular. There we go. Exactly. 4 cups, 520 grams. It's like a pound and a couple of ounces. Ounces 30, 60, 90. So what's that? Yeah, it's like like 2.5 ounces. A pound plus 2.5 ounces. I guess is or 4 cups. I don't like cups because, you know, people seem to argue on where the cup weights are. Then what we're going to do is we're going to put about 2.5 teaspoons of aniseed. All right, so aniseed spice, 2.5 teaspoons, which is about 5 grams. All right, that's a little more than 5 grams. That's fine. If you like aniseed, it's all good. All right, we just want to melt that guy up. Then we're going to put the yeast, which is 2 teaspoons. 2.5 teaspoons. All right, we're going to put that in the mix. All right, 2.5 teaspoons in the mix. All right, we can move these guys out the way. All right, and then the sugar. All right, we're going to put some sugar. And that is 1/2 cup. All right, because like I said, it's kind of cookie-like, but it's not too sweet. So you do about 1/2 cup of sugar. I just want to make sure there's no clots. I should sieve this, but I'm not going to. All right. And I've had that in. So I'm running this 20 minutes, then I'll check it and probably turn it around. All right, so we're going to mix this up. See, where did I put the other? I don't know where I put it. Put my other spatula somewhere. All right, so here we go. So we've got the sugar and the salt. What do we got? We got a teaspoon of salt. So, teaspoon of salt. Again, I use a Celtic salt. I grind it in. All right, teaspoon of salt. There we go. Right, now we mix all of this in. So we got the yeast, the sugar, the salt, and the aniseed all in the flour mix. Right. So this is what it's going to look like. It looks like a flour mix with ticks all over it because of the aniseed. All right. Okay, so then this is boiling, which we don't want to do. So I'm going to have to stick this in the fridge because we want this not to be too hot. If you put this in there, it will kill all the yeast. So this is melted. Let me just put this in there. I should have paid better attention. Let me put you up there. I'll put you down here. So what we'll do is that's the grape juice. All right. I'm going to put, let me see. So we've got the butter is melted, the grape juice. So I'm going to do 200 grams of milk. Just wanted to see, I've got another little saucepan somewhere here. I just want to heat the milk up a little bit. I guess this guy will have to do. Sorry, my son cleaned this one, and that's why I didn't use it, because he didn't clean it 100% to my liking. Let me just, and I'll put 200 grams in here, and I literally just want to take the cold edge off it to help the yeast. He boiled eggs the other day and one broke, and there was a tad of egg stuck to the bottom. He did wash it and we ran it through the dishwasher. Michael, he's 7, you know, so I'm trying to not discourage the man from trying too much. He seems to want to try and cook a little, so I don't want to give him too much of a hard time, because I'd like him to keep trying that.
And he told us what a wonderful chef he was.
Yes.
He did.
Yes.
Hey, Sig Monk, welcome.
Yeah, welcome, welcome. I'm sorry, I'm not reading chat because I can't read and do.
They are having a blast on your behalf, so keep saying what you're saying. You are entertaining everyone.
All right, goody goody.
Yes.
All right, so I'm just going to pop this on the range, get some heat into it, you know. Let's call it foreplay.
Did you receive something, Sarge? Did something arrive?
All right, let's give that a minute. I overheated my grape juice, so I can't put it in the mix.
Oh, okay.
All right, so we use an unbromated, unbleached flour.
Can I give you some of your meat?
Yes, please. I am quite hungry.
I need some of your meat. Can I have some of your meat?
You are more than allowed to. Also, throw the sugar back in the mix there for me.
I'll be back with your meat.
All right, perfect. So let's see where this is going. 70. I get it to 90 or 100. We're good. I actually don't need these things because I was going to nuke it, but no nuke, no jug required. I kept the teaspoon because I wanted to show you guys, but basically 1 teaspoon of aniseed is 2 grams. So if you want like 5 grams, you need like 2.5 teaspoons. So keep that in mind, and we'll see what this turns out like. I don't want to peek, man. I always peek. Well, the bread looks like it's proofing up nicely. I always want to peek, and then I mess up because you know you reduce the heat. All right, let's see. 82. That's good. This is good, and I've got some shortening. So I was debating: am I going to do shortening in the bread or in the rusks? I made those with shortening. The recipe calls for butter, so I thought, all right, let me make this one with butter. I'll make that one with shortening. Then we'll test it, and once we've tested it, we'll decide. So here's a little tip from what I've discovered from doing a lot of baking and stuff commercially. If you use butter in your bread or in any kind of baked good, the shelf life is less good than with a type of a shortening. And I use a coconut oil shortening. What's wrong?
Do you have biltong?
I do not have biltong. Did one of my
stole
kids
it.
steal my biltong? That's possible. So if you use a shortening, so I use, like I say, not the Crisco crap. Don't fucking go near that shit. Well, I don't want to brand like the, let's say, commercial brands that's like available everywhere. Don't buy them. Go look specifically for a coconut based or a, just read the ingredients, buy a clean shortening. I specifically use, and this is not a branded one, I buy it commercially in big. This is like a quarter of what I normally get. I get a big box, it weighs 50 pounds, it's huge. So I've still got a lot left because we don't bake this stuff anymore. But it's a coconut oil shortening, and it's clean. It's got no soy, it's got no preservatives, no nonsense in it. All right. They do, and this is just something I discovered. So they say coconut oil, there we go, that's 100, we'll take that off. Coconut oil and coconut shortening for your fryer and stuff like that is not environmentally friendly, and it's got nothing to do with the product. Okay, they say it's not really good, and it's got to do with how it's grown and harvested. All right, so it's not really done well. I know. Why do I think it's orangutans are native to the area where they grow this stuff? So they actually destroy the orangutan habitat
Can I ask you a question?
to get that. Yes.
Okay, so palm oil is bad, but smartphone batteries good.
Yeah.
How
No.
are those made?
Don't get me started, man.
I'm just asking.
I know.
I'm asking for clarification. Mr. Jessup, thank you so much for hanging out. Have a good Father's Day. Happy Father's Day.
Yeah,
to you. He's
absolutely.
running. Dear Sarge says that one of his sons received his package. So awesome. He got a biltong bouquet, and it is not gay to send biltong bouquet to a man. It is not gay. You are correct.
Biltong is not gay.
We are the show. Welcome in, and Sensei. Hello. Hello.
I saw We Are the Show. Was it? No, it was Amen Past the Ammo that I saw yesterday.
It wasn't Sigmund, was it?
Sigmund, I think Sigmund was also there on.
You mentioned him.
Let me see. I think
Redonkulus?
Redonkulus.
Look at my memory.
All right, so this still. I think it'll be okay though.
All right. Sensei says we got our next shirt. Biltong is not gay. Or is it biltong's only gay if you want it to be?
Yep.
I am eating my husband's meat right now. I cannot hold back. I'm sorry.
Right. It's still a little warm. It's at about 130. So I'm just pouring it in slowly and let it just pick up off the mixing. All right, I'll be right with you guys. Sorry, I've got to focus a little for this. I can't talk too much nonsense, but it's a little warm, so I'm just really slowly pouring it in. So basically when it hits the flour, it'll be at temp, or if it hits the bowl, like now I'm just pouring it straight on the bowl. So it'll cool. So there we go. So the recipe calls for like 100 water, 100 milk, and 100 grams of each. What I did is I just went straight for milk, nothing else, because I can't see that more milk won't be better. In fact, I would say half and half, because I use the umbramated flour, so it's a little different to your normal run-of-the-mill stuff. All right, here we go. That's done. That's done. Drop this down a little. And I might have to add a little bit of flour here just to get the consistency right. That's always the case, depending on the flour you make, you know. Never exactly 100% right. A little soft. Sorry, Nicole's running around, and let me just get some flour here. And that seems to be mixing pretty good. I'm gonna, well, actually no, no, that's perfect. I'm not gonna do more. Seems good. Yeah. So 4 cups. The recipe actually calls for 500, so I do 4 cups. I do a little more. All right. Go. Just watch your fingers with the moving parts, because it's the moving parts that cause trouble with the fingers, or is it the fingers that cause trouble with the moving parts? I'm not sure. All right. There we go. That looks good. That looks very good. So when I use 2 pans, So what you do is you weigh your mixture, and then I estimated about 15 little balls per pan, so 30. So you take your mixture weight, and then you divide it by 30, and that'll be your weight that each ball has to be. And then you just weigh them out, roll them up, and put them in the pan, man. And then you wait for them to proof, and I'll show you what the effect is when it's done. We've got like a minute left, and then we'll turn those guys around. I'll just see what it looks like. My oven's a little faster because it's got a massive fan in it, and it's so that's what do you call it? Convex on fucking steroids. Like, you can't bake anything that's got a soft kind of texture, like a battery, like a buttermilk cake or milk tarts. They can't make it in that oven, man. It just blows right out of the mix.
Can I show off real quick?
Sure.
So I'm helping a customer. Of course, they always ask for a small amount of biltong. I can't help myself. This was only, I think, 8 slabs.
All right.
A little bit of Angus biltong. It's absolutely beautiful. Anton, where can they get this biltong? You should tell them about it.
Our sponsor, biltongusa.com, for the best meat that you can get. All right, so go there. If you like what we do, support us over there. I know I'm not making biltong today, but sometimes it's good to have something a little different. I don't eat bread, but my kids are going to love this stuff. So let's see quickly. I spray this guy. Put that in there. Throw that in the trash because it's just in the way. Let's put this up here. Tar it. What have we got? 241, 941. That's spam. Kill that guy. Get you out now. 941. So what have we got? 941 divided by 30. 31 gram balls. We'll make 15 of them. So I'm going to cover this guy. I'll just take a pan. Just cover him so it doesn't get dry. All right, I'll put it here. A little bit of heat from the range still. Let me put it in the middle here. There we go. A little bit of heat. It'll get some of that heat, and the heat makes it proof faster. Let me see what's going on this side. I'm not too impressed with those breads, but I'm sure the main attraction's looking good, man. Let me stick a probe in that. Let's stick a probe in that. If you like it, probe it. Let's see where we're at. 162. This is not far off. 5 minutes, we should be done with that at least. 5. I still don't have grates. Man, I should have washed one. Could have pulled that right out. Sorry, my chat is dead here now because I answered that stupid call. There we go. Right. Okay, so we've got basically what's in here. We've got proofing over here. So, and let me give you a little tip. So take your recipe, make it, and then what you do is take your flour. Okay, so let's make it first time, and then you see how it comes out. And if you see, okay, so you got 2 bread pans, and you want a little bigger or a little smaller, take your flour, use that as your percentage indicator. So you can basically take your flour as a 1. So let's say it's 500. So 500 divided by 500 is 1. If you take 500 and you divide it, or if let's say you want it's too much. Let's say you're making too much bread, so it doesn't fit in your 2 pans. You want to reduce your mix. So let's say then you go to 400 grams of flour. So you take 400 divided by 500. Take that amount that you have, 0.9 or whatever, 0.8, whatever it comes out to, 400, 450, whatever you want to, but whatever the amount comes out to, take that percentage point, multiply all your other ingredients by that percentage point, and then your ratios stay the same. Just as a matter of interest on the math front when it comes to baking. Same if you want to increase. So let's say you want to make 1.5 times. You can multiply everything by 1.5, and then your ratios stay the same. But in the beginning, when you try and sort your recipes out and you want to get them to fit, let's say the bread pan takes maximum half a kilo, otherwise it proofs too much. So that'll be 500 grams, and you want to make 2, so that'll be 1,000 grams. But if your flour is 1,000 grams, it's not going to fit in 2 pans because of all the other ingredients that come in. So you can work out ratios like that. You basically reduce your flour portion and then use the ratio on that to reduce all the other portions into the same ratio. So you take whatever, like 500 divided by, so take 400, divide 500 into 400. That'll give you probably, I think it's 0.8. So 0.8 times everything else by 0.8. And then you get the ratios and all of that. And I normally will round up a little bit. If it's like 4.9 grams, I'll round up to 5. If it's lower, then you round up, taste, and then you can play with your, if you want to take the salt up or down, if you want to take each, and I'll recommend take one ingredient at a time, unless you've got experience. So I've got a lot of experience, so I can taste, okay, this needs to go up, that needs to go down, and I can make a change once. But you might want to do one ingredient at a time, change it. So let me check. I did set the timer. Oh, look at the biltong. I've only had breakfast today, so you've got to excuse me. The best thing, and I'll give it to my kids now, when these things come out the oven. Where I grew up in South Africa, we used to buy these things fresh, come fresh out the oven, warm. You buy those, you take them home. Actually, in the car before you get home, you used to sit in front of the bakery waiting, and then the bread comes out, and it's warm, and you take these and you just tear them off and you eat them. Oh, needless to say that I was not lightweight.
Once upon a time, neither of us were. Mm-hmm. We've got so many people who've came in to say hi. Can I pop in a couple?
Yeah, please do.
Divinity, first and foremost, thanks for the raid. Greatly appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
We've got, I mentioned those guys. Squab Bob.
Okay.
Whew, that's a hard one. Falconaut Vicky. Glad to have you. Beautiful. Beautifully inappropriate. I love it. I like your name. Neuro, hey. Divinity 143, did I say that one?
I think so.
Maybe I did, I'm not sure. Jody's very proud of you, the tip in 2 minutes. And just as a FYI, if anybody doesn't know, sometimes we use inappropriate references. We are married. I haven't been here for a minute, so sorry about that. Yes,
just for everybody that's tuning in now. So what we did today is we made, what did I call it? Aniseed Rusks. Mm-hmm. But I explained to everybody that in the beginning, so I'll rerun while I wait. I've got 20 seconds or whatever, then I'm going to check, probe it again. I said, if you like something, you should stick your probe in it.
I'm so sorry I missed that. I love it. Or just stick their meat in your mouth.
So it's actually made from the grape must that is used when making wine. So this comes from the Cape area in South Africa, from what I can ascertain, from what I've seen. The breads look so. I'll see if they work. I might have to tweak that recipe a little bit.
They say an hour, though. I know you got more time.
Yeah, but they just look shitty. They don't look pretty like my breads always do. There we go. 100%. 196, 197, 198. Perfect. So for all those who wonder, breads If you hit 195 to 200, your breads are good. Do me a favor, just step aside.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get those. I want to probe these back breads quickly. I just want to see where we're at on them. I don't want to run them for another 10 minutes.
I'm just going to eat the biltong.
Yeah, you do that.
I am hungry. We have not eaten it today.
This will go.
I didn't realize.
This is not, no, it's not far off. So we'll ask the kids' opinion. They'll give us an opinion on the bread. So I'll run 5 minutes and see where we're at. All right. Do me a favor. Just
wipe it down for you.
This is sanitizer. I don't have a grate because, I don't have a grate because I never washed one because I'm a moron.
Or just stay off your clean surface. I can do that.
Yeah. So I normally put these things on grates, but we've used all our grates in our biltong manufacture. We don't normally do that, but we made so much. So now I'm out of grate. So I can't put this on like a grate.
It's so pretty. You guys see all the lumps on it? That's the most fun part. I love looking at the rusks before they're broken up.
So these are what we call undried rusks. All right. Now, let me put some. So when you take these things, and I'll do that. I'll take a spatula. I've got one back here. All right. So I'm going to come show you this first. So what you do is you take these guys and you pack them on a cookie tray, on a cookie sheet, and then you, so I'll show you. Let me first come show you what they look like. All right?
That used to be my job, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
Are you going to do it?
Yeah, I'll tear it and I'll show them.
Okay.
All right. So let me do this.
See, Bright Gaming is very concerned for me because I hadn't eaten yet.
All right, you see, so this is what they look like. You can see the little lines. All right, and I'll see if I can do one right here. So you're going to grab these things. You want to break the top. I'm going to just break that. Now, if you're just going to eat them, it doesn't matter. So look at that. All right, so there's a rusk. So there's one rusk. So you do this pretty if you want to sell them. We're obviously not going to sell these. So what you do, and the kids can come and get some of these as soon as they cool down a little. There's another rusk. All right. There's another rusk. That's a nice one. That's a nice one. You guys can see what that looks like. So you take these and you pack them on a cookie sheet. You set your oven to the minimum it will go to. Well, I don't want to say minimum, but around, what was it? Like 140, 150 F. It's like 60 degrees Celsius or something. 60, 70, somewhere around there. And then you just run it. And if your oven doesn't go too low, you can take a glove, open the door and stick it in. And then you just basically, you can also put them in a dehydrator and then you just run them overnight and they'll dry out completely. And then they're shelf stable. Like you just put them in a jar. And whenever you have coffee and you want to snack, you just chow one of these things.
They're dangerous, though. One is never enough. One is never enough.
I'm going to break these guys up. I don't know how good these are. Yeah. No, I'll just use this. They don't have to be perfect. Mm-hmm. So the young man can have this one. Mm-hmm. So get 4 trays there and call those banana heads. And let's see if we could just... So I'm going to let these cool a little. I know they're going to at least want a couple each. There's nothing better than these things warm like this, man. It is phenomenal. So I don't know what these taste like. I've never made this recipe. This is my first time. I've just messed around with it a little. I made one, of course, prior to stream because I wanted to just make sure it works. And then I made one now. All right, there we go. So let's see, 5 minutes. So I'm gonna run this.
This one for the little man?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he can have the thin one.
Do I just put 2 or just 1?
Just put 2.
I know.
Yeah.
Everybody can have an inside and an outside.
Yes. There we go.
Inside.
Inside. Rusks. But not dried. They're
Do you
not
want to
dried
tell
rusks.
them the other name? Did you say it?
So yeah, so we call these musk balls, basically.
Say it in your...
Mosbolletjies. So we call them mosbolletjies.
It sounds better.
Yes, mosbolletjies. But because we use druive mos to make it, but there's no good English translation because it's a Dutch thing, like Afrikaans. Actually, not even Dutch. It's an Afrikaans thing from the Cape. So it's very hard to explain this to people, but this is what it is. So it's very difficult to explain to people exactly what this is.
But mosbolletjies, it is such a fun...
Mosbolletjies, yes.
Such a fun name. I love the name.
A bolletjie is a small ball, and mos is must, but must sounds so fucking gross. But for some, I don't know. You know, anyway.
It really does. It's not appealing.
No.
I don't want your musk.
Yeah, but it's not musk. It's M-U-S-T. Must.
I know.
1 minute. Must. You know what? I'll entertain Jody. 2 minutes. Yeah, and then we can slice that one.
Sensei says, you've heard of Hawaiian King rolls. Well, this is King of Biltong's rolls or rusks.
Yes.
It is kind of similar to that without a glaze.
Yeah, without a glaze. And you can put a glaze on top. What I normally do with this is I'll take golden syrup, which is a syrup we do. So I'll take golden syrup and butter and mix it 50-50. And you just melt it on the range. And then you just take a brush and you brush them. And then they'll have a nice silver nice glossy look to them.
So there's a question if I have a sister.
Sure. If you have a sister. No. Yes, no. No, yes, maybe, no.
No. Musky balls.
That's exactly what I'm saying, man. I don't want to... Don't fucking gross out my food.
They're so good.
Don't gross out my food.
But if you're like us, this is all you need. I am obsessed with my husband's meat. What can I say? Hey, what does that remind you of?
That almost looks like Africa.
It always does this. I chuckle with biltong. I've caught it I don't know how many times. It looks like little Africa. I have to show this. Now, Africa is, of course, where biltong technique originated. What did you say, 450 plus years ago?
Yeah, 16...
Something.
In the 1600s.
Okay, 1600s. But the Kalahari Desert. So it's not just one country. It's a very large region that started with the biltong. But it is so good.
Well, that Kalahari is in South Africa where
I know,
the
but
Bushmen,
it touches other...
Not the Kalahari, you're thinking of the Sahara.
Oh, okay.
But there are also Bushmen in the... close to Botswana, what do they call that? It's in the...
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, but that's different. That's not Kalahari. That's just different Bushmen, other Bushmen.
Fine, I'm just gonna talk about your meat though.
Yes, do that.
While you guys debate what kind of balls these are, I am eating my husband's meat. Okay, this is delicious. Did you tell them to use code S.T.F. 10?
I did not. That I forgot.
For 10% off of your biltong purchases.
All right, that guy's off. We'll start him up when this is closer. I was hoping that would proof up in time. I should have maybe made that first and then this. But anyway, hindsight and all of that, you know. So let's see. These do not look pretty. I mean, okay. They look like, what does this remind me of?
Bread.
Yeah, maybe.
But it's not because it's heavy.
Yeah, I think maybe more flour, less.
Hey, Neuro, thanks for dropping the links there.
Let's see. Don't try this at home. My hands are a little... They make me think of scones or something like that. Pulled apart at the corner there a little. So I'm used to working with higher heat stuff. So we'll see. The kids will eat it regardless. I'm sure it's good. I'll mess around with that. I think that recipe I could probably sort something out on. The pans is the problem. They had like 300.
Yes. That looks so weird.
Yes. But I thought I'd make it as a side bread. Just this is what I wanted to show you guys.
So what you do with this bread, no matter what it tastes like, you slice it up and you put a bunch of butter on it.
You know what I think this would work well as?
What?
Dumplings.
Ooh.
If you make a stew and you make dumplings
and
in the stew.
And then just drop it in.
And you just drop it in.
You don't have to roll.
No, you just spoon it in and drop it in. I think this will work really well for dumplings, in my opinion. And when I used to eat bread, I used to really like dumplings. No more eating bread. Let me get a knife and see what this stuff looks like inside.
Sarge is Switzerland speaking of himself in the third person right now.
Sorry, my bread knife was in the dishwasher.
Honey would be good with it.
Yeah, probably. I think if I flatten it a little better,
Yeah.
you know, stuff like that, it'll probably come out a little better.
I think we'll see you soon, Bright Gaming.
Yeah. But this was the main attraction, so that's what I just thought I'd make this additional. Let's see what you look like on the inside. Yeah, it's got a pretty decent crust. I mean, I just took it out. Not bad.
No.
For warm. I mean, it's hot.
I want to poke it.
Yeah, I know. No, it's not bad. I mean, not bad.
It's moist.
Yes.
It's very moist with the crust.
Yes.
That is so weird.
That's what I'm saying. I think I could probably figure something out with this guy if I spend some time on it.
That's kind of nice. It's squishy.
Yeah.
But moist.
Yeah.
Not like
I'm thinking
overly,
up with a baking powder, and up with a baking powder, and up with a salt maybe a little.
Yeah.
And up with a flour and keep the kefir the same.
Well, thank you for multitasking, Neuro. We're glad to have you pop in and say hi. We appreciate it. We really do.
Let me go.
Go tease?
No, I'm going to ask Trin to eat it and tell me what she thinks.
Okay. Our oldest will eat anything and everything and normally enjoys it, but she's honest.
Trin? She
will tell us if it is not for her. I can't remember what it was. Achar. We had her try achar a few months ago. She tried to like it, but she couldn't like it. I chuckle. Sometimes there's just things that do not work. It's a very unique texture. I'm curious what the kid thinks. It's weird. It's got a good crust, like Anton said, though. It's a very interesting. Nice, Spaz. I like your statements here. I'm just enjoying the meat. I'm hungry. I'm hungry today. I've been busy. We've rearranged shop a little bit and got new products in, made it look a little prettier. So lots of, for me, manual labor, which I don't always do that kind of stuff. I'm normally packing the meat, as always. I see.
You either hold him, or I slice, or you slice, or I slice, or
I
how do
won't
we
be able
do
to
that?
handle the heat.
All right. No problem. My youngest also wants a piece. She said she doesn't like this, but she had one. I think she's nonsense.
She doesn't like it?
Yes.
She had to adjust her taste buds.
She's very weird. She'll eat just very specific stuff, but she cannot eat enough biltong in a day. You know what this reminds me of? I think this with some cheese will work well.
Yes.
We used to in South Africa make what's called a pot bread, and you put it in the fire. That reminds me of that.
Okay, I'll give you some. Okay. There.
Trin says she really likes it. And my oldest says she really likes this.
The bread?
Yeah.
Okay.
She really likes it. Let me get...
So Sensei says, large lad has entered the chat every time there is been. That is so true. He always does that.
All right, so here we go.
You want to try to drink with it? Close your mouth.
All right, here we go. Give me 1 second.
He hasn't used a straw before. I don't know if I'm going to win this battle right this moment.
No, I don't know.
I don't think I will. Can you bring his tea, please, when you come back?
Sure. Switch that off, please. Yes, ma'am. His tea, please. Michael.
Is that good? Is that good? This kid eats a lot. I don't know what to say. This boy. He's now into breads, kind of. Kind of. He eats starch.
Yeah, he's still, it's like
it's hit or miss.
3 eggs a day.
Yes.
And biltong, and then a little bit of starch.
He's been enjoying pop. So the cornmeal.
You want to go get that?
Sure. Anho Dave is banned for gross words.
Who banned him?
No, Neuro's saying it. They're just having fun. They're having fun.
All right, so big mess now because all the breads, meats, and remove all of that up. Let's see what this guy looks like. So this guy's still busy proofing, so I'm not going to be able to roll it. I'm going to have to wait. It's normally an hour, give or take, hour and a half, and it's big enough, so I'll roll that. I'm going to make it in little balls, so you just weigh them out, stick them on your scale, weigh them out, roll them up, stick them in the pan in rows. So I made 3 rows. You can do 3 rows, you can squish them up a little. So what I've found in my experience, if you want them to go a little higher, just pack them nice and tight. If they don't have space to go sideways when they proof, they'll go up, and when they bake, they'll go up. So that's what I would suggest. That's basically that in a nutshell. So I will wait for Nicole. Nero, if you want to, man, you can hit a raid to Bright Gaming. We said we will raid him. Let's see if there's anything else. Sarge, Switzerland, Arizona guy, blah, blah, Sensei. Hey, we did say hi to Sensei. Thanks for popping in. Yeah, and I think that's basically that. We'll see if we can do something interesting on Sunday. I wanted to make some fire still today, but with the delivery coming in unexpectedly, that took all my time. So no go, and now I've got to go sit and do pricing. So that's going to be fun stuff. Yeah, we did add more candies to the Biltong website. I see people are liking that, just a little candy on the side, which is good. So yeah, check out biltongusa.com. There's some candies, there's some spreads and sauces. All done, I'm almost done, and you guys can get some more. You don't like it? Okay, Trin likes it and Esme likes it. The first one. You want another one of those? Come, young man. Here we go. Yes, you can give it to your sister. Here we go. See you later. So yeah, check out biltongusa.com, and you guys will find candy spreads. We'll probably load cookies there at one point. Everything that's kind of manageable in weight. It's the heavy stuff and the bottles and the weird things that's the problem.
You guys don't need cookies. That's starches. You need candies and biltong. That
Candies
is all.
and biltong.
That is life.
And
that is my life. Okay, I'm off the candy right now. Hang it.
And spreads and sauces.
Yes. Okay, so that peach chutney. So we've been using it. We had the pork shoulder on Sunday for anybody who got to watch that stream. Peach chutney with that guy is absolutely phenomenal. I know Femboy is a fan of your chutney, or a chutney fan in general, but man, there's something about that pork shoulder with peach chutney.
It was very good.
It was very good. All right. Dear Sarge is reminding everybody tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. Man, that's quite a range there.
Yeah, so that would be 4 p.m. Central. Check out Sarge.
There may be royalty on.
Yes, that's correct.
What he says.
That's correct.
Oh.
That is correct. Check out Sarge. I might make an appearance.
Maybe.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
All right. You know, Sarge says, Nicole must be strong. Doubt little man is lightweight, big 1-year-old. How much does he weigh right now?
Isn't he in the 20-pound?
He's over 25 for sure.
Yeah,
so he's pushing 30 if he's not there. One thing I will say is when he was born, it was very important. I think after 4 to 6 weeks, I started weightlifting. He was too heavy already. Like I could feel the strain. It's like, okay, I'm back in gym mode.
Yeah. Well, not for anything, but he pushes a chair.
Yes.
With his smallest sister, his youngest sister, on
his older sister, the youngest older sister.
Yes, the youngest. So his older sister, the youngest daughter we have.
She's 5.5.
She's 5.5. He pushes a chair with her on it around. So he's. I don't know what we're gonna do with him.
Yes.
Yes.
Neuro, are you in to help us jump over?
I did say he can, but I'm not sure if he's there.
Okay, I can probably help. I've got. Hey, Ubik, hi, bye. I've got customers in front. Do you want to greet them real quick, and I can bounce over? We can just leave everybody to look at the beautifulness here.
All right, so we'll see you Sunday. Have a great day. I gotta go help. That's more customers. See you guys Sunday.
I'm going to jump over to Bright Gaming stream. I'll go ahead and stay on chat so you guys can hear me. It's going to take me a second to find it. I'm not the fastest at this raid thing, but hey, I like doing it. So look at the beautifulness of our Musbulaki / Anis Aniseed Rusks. They are so nice and smell really good. Lemon did mention that that is kind of a licorice taste, and that is correct, but it's so subtle. It's actually it's a really unique flavor base. But the bread, it looks interesting. Like Anton mentioned, the girls like it. I'm not so sure if the boys do, but we'll see. We'll see what the other young man thinks of it here in a minute, because he's probably already getting it actually. Raid, looky there. I've got it. I've got it. I'm incredible. I'm incredible. I'm sending you guys to Bright Gaming. Up to you if you'd like to travel. But thank you so much for hanging out with us. I hope you all have an awesome weekend. Happy Father's Day to everybody who is a dad. And we will see you on Sunday. I don't know if Anton has an idea of what we're making. Hey, Sanglant. Hi, bye. I'm going to go ahead and shut down. We should have already rated Bright Gaming. So you guys go hang out. Anton's on with Sarge tomorrow, so don't forget. All right, I got to go help out the man.